Greenply Industries has been in the news recently. Greenply has entered into a joint venture with Turkey-based hardware, furniture fittings and hardware manufacturer Samet Industries. And together, the two companies have invested to set up a production facility in Gujarat. Production has already started, and the products under the Greenply Samet brand have been introduced in the Indian market just a couple of weeks back. I have with me on this show today Manoj Tulsian, Joint Managing Director and CEO at Greenply Industries. And with him, I'll be talking about more details about this joint venture and how the brand is being positioned in the Indian market, what opportunities channel partners can expect in the trade, and of course, what impact this joint venture could possibly have on the Indian hardware industry. Hello, Manoj. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Deepak. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
It is indeed great to hear about this joint venture.
Thank you so much. In fact, we are also equally excited. And I definitely feel that, this can be a new beginning in the country in terms of, creating and running successful JVs with international houses, in especially the building segment.
Absolutely. Could we talk a bit about the nature of this joint venture? What has gone into it? Who are the partners? What are their respective investments? And how the board is constituted?
So, Deepak, to start with, it's a Turkish player. They are a very niche player in the furniture hardware fittings. They operate out of Turkey, and they have exports to more than 80 countries in the world. So, and the best part of them is they're very high on the engineering side of the business. They have their own R&D team, to the surprise of us when we visited there for the first time. More than 100 people operating only into their R&D system. And so not only they design the product, they design the machine to make those products, and then they make the machines also. So you can understand the level of engineering, entrepreneurship, what they have. And that really excited us. That Greenply has a great name in India in terms of its, brand strength and distribution. And you get a very superb, I would say, engineering partner to bring to India a product which is very high on engineering, and together to grow this into this country.
How is the partnership shaped in terms of shares or stakes?
It's a 50-50 JV, and so even the board seat are equally divided. And we have certain, of course, managing a 50-50 JV is never easy. You have to have a lot of discipline. So we have our own SHA, which clearly defines what are the power which will be given to the executive committee, the managing committee, and what would be the powers which will be at the board level. So as I said, 50-50, so every decision will be jointly taken. But since the strength, we want to play on the strength of both the organization. So they bring in their strength on engineering, we bring in our strength on the marketing, distribution, and the brand. So how we have done this is that anything on engineering, if they finally have a say, then they have a veto power to take along the decision on behalf of the company. And we can exercise a veto power in terms of anything finally which we feel right is on the marketing and distribution. So both the players will play on the strength, on their own strength in the turf. And see, also like in Indian market, India, as I keep saying, is so many countries within one country. When you look at the population demographics, we are so many countries within one country. So keeping that in mind, they also understand that though they are also pioneer in their own sales, but for this market, and that is the reason for which they chose, somebody like Greenply as a partner in India, is to play on our strength. So that is how it will be in terms of board management. There will be a total separate team to handle this business from top to bottom. The total expenditure, I would say, in terms of the capex would be close to around 250 odd crores. Again, 50-50. So whatever I'm saying is all 50-50, right? And this is getting catered through a mix of bank debt as well as the capital infusion, which both the partners will bring on table.
So is Samet also bringing in some IP or some technology which is not available here?
Well, their designing is their own designing. So they, in any case, hold the IPR for the same. Whatever we will start manufacturing in India, those IPR will then belong to the company over a period of time.
What led Greenply to consider furniture fittings as a diversification?
Well, one, definitely we wanted to play on the strength of our brand. Okay, so brand extension is something which is very much possible in our business. Greenply has gone through its own, restructuring many things in the past in terms of demergers and other things. And now we were on the turf where internally we were supposed to do a lot of things to bring this company to a level from where we can look at a decent growth for the next, 8, 10 years, 15 years. And we all know India is the market really, truly for the next 2 decades. So having said that, internally many of those things which we are supposed to do has been done. It's a continuous process. It will continue to, it's not that we have done everything. It's just a beginning. But we felt that at this point of time, if we get a product which has a good international reputation and which is slightly different than what we are already doing in Greenply, which is straight away the panel products. So luckily we got this opportunity to meet them, discuss, and we found this to be very, very exciting. Also, this is a very upscale market. This is a market, and the products what we are going to manufacture in this JV are all high-end products, which will compete with the best of the companies and names what in this country. But if you also that none of them except one of our competition manufactures just 1 or 2 such SKU range in the country. So I think overall it's a great opportunity for us to be locally manufacturing these products into this country, and especially when government is taking so much of effort in terms of BIS, making the quality norms more stringent and the specifications. It's a great journey which looks like we are going to travel together.
So you just touched upon government's approach, Make in India, and setting standards through quality control orders under BIS. So overall, how do you see the outlook for your industry, and of course, which is much related to the furniture industry? How do you see the growth of that industry pushing you along or helping you to grow?
Are you talking about overall building materials, or you're talking about
furniture?
Well, look, there are so many things which is happening in the country. Okay, if you see in terms of the levers, first of all, as I said, we clearly see that India is a great domestic consumption story, if not more, but I would say for the next 2 decades. Clearly, that's visible with the type of reforms which has happened in the country in the last 1 decade or so, with so much of digitalization which is happening. The level of transparency in the country is going up, and things are becoming smoother only day by day in terms of working. I think India is a great story, and if the Indian GDP will continue to grow even at a pace of 7% plus, real estate infrastructure is the largest pie which has to grow, and if that has to grow, then we have to grow. So it's all linked. I think any company which is now from here on is doing business in the most simplistic way and focused way is here to grow. So keeping that in mind, we being in building material segment, we clearly feel that we have a large opportunity. We are also otherwise, more so regarded as premium players, and this is a great addition in our overall premiumness, I would say. These are high-end furniture fittings, which just adds to the overall range what we have. This is also a product which is very contractor and carpenter influenced. So it's a type of a natural extension for us in terms of plywood and MDF and this and veneers and so on and so forth. So I think we are very excited about this, and we'll also have the advantage of being early mover in terms of having our manufacturing base into this country on the hardware, furniture hardware, I'm saying. So there are many positives which we looked at. It can be a great learning also in terms of intangibles, in terms of processes, because you still know plywood and certain these industries are very nascent in terms of they're still like the old generation business, very labor intensive. So we moved one step like when we went into MDF, which is more really automated, and this is even further automated, less labor, high productivity. So there would be a lot of cross-culture learning also which will happen. Overall, we feel we are really excited, and we feel this will be a great journey. It will be a great product addition as well as product come brand addition to the overall Greenply organization.
What's interesting to note is that particularly the timing, of course, it is fortuitous, but recently we've seen a spate of investments coming into this sector in terms of private equity acquiring existing brands or domestic brands heavily investing to expand their capacities, and of course the market leader itself investing more in capex. So suddenly we are seeing a surge in investments in capex all over. So
Yes.
in that sense, I think your timing is also very right.
Yeah, I think so. When you look at in the hindsight, for sure, it looks to be excellent timing. As you said, QCO, BIS implementation, a lot of new investments coming into the country, a lot of money which is waiting actually to come to this country. They are just looking at good business ideas and good management where they can invest and they can grow together. No, as I said, India is looking great at this point of time. And we just want to capitalize on the strength of our organization, brand, people, and keep building up, new heights for the organization.
Let's talk a bit about the production facility that has come up in Gujarat. Where is it located exactly?
This is in Vadodara, the same place where we have put our MDF facility. So since we had large chunk of land which we had taken there, and we had spare land, so we have used part of that land parcel to quickly set up this factory. I mean, if you would have gone for some other land parcel, then one, it would have taken a lot of time. And second, in any case, for people, for the senior management people, it becomes like you have to go to multi-locations even within a smaller place. So I think, again, this worked well for us. And we have been able to do it also very, very quickly. In around almost 6 months, we have been able to set up this entire factory.
So how large is this unit and what are its unique features?
So this whole unit is spread over almost around 10 acres plus, and it's a full-fledged facility which is there. Of course, our expansion we have broken up into 3 phases: phase 1, 2, and 3. Everything taken together, we have an initial estimates that we might need to spend around 250 odd crores or 270 odd crores. Phase 1 is more or less complete. One set of machineries are still on the way. There was some delay in those machines to come, but I think by end of September or something, those machines will be in place. So almost our phase 1 would be complete then in terms of the civil, machine, utilities, and everything. For phase 2 and 3, we have already set up our entire civil. I mean, the entire design was done on the basis that as if we are implementing everything today only. And phase 2 and 3 implementation clearly will depend on how fast we are able to ramp up our business in India. This is the same. We will look at bringing in phase 2 and phase 3 machineries.
What products have already started being made or
No,
are covered in the first phase?
initially they will only be doing hinges and the ball bearing slides, and then things will follow in phase 2 and phase 3. So which will be like the undermounts, the flow boxes, which we call, I mean, different names, different company gives different names. So these are those kitchen drawers, and their slides and everything, and then the lift ups. Yeah, so the entire telescopic slides, yes, those covers those range.
And what capacities have been built? What will be the production capacity here?
So we have that in terms of values, basis the type of opportunity what we were able to find out, basis our study. We found that this entire up to phase 3 capacity can give us somewhere a turnover of close to around 750 odd crores. And that is on today's price. So, that can change and on a certain mix. So that 750 can even become 800, may become 700. But yes, around that number.
So, will the products that are being made now already, will they be compliant, BIS compliant?
Well, yes. So the hinges what we will be manufacturing, we are already applying for the BIS compliant license, and we'll get that within the timelines of BIS implementation. And then as and when the new products gets introduced, like once we start the ball bearing slides here and we have a full-fledged facility for that, including the lab and everything, then we'll even apply for a BIS for the same. But I think I'm not very sure whether the specifications and other things, the QCO for the slides and other things are already formulated or not. But if it is done, then we will apply that immediately also, once we have the facility in place.
I think QCO for slides and hinges both have been released, though whether they have been made compulsory yet, I'm not sure. I think discussions are on.
No, not compulsory. For hinges, yes, I think next year, February or something is the timeline. But for slides, the timelines are still not fixed. I will have to recheck. I may not be very sure about the timelines. But in any case, since our facility would be ready, so we'll just go to the department to get the necessary approvals.
What about the other product categories, the ones other than hinges and roller slides? Will you be offering those also, though they might be imported?
Well, so whatever is the range of Samet right now, which is more or less within these parlance, if we are not manufacturing in India, we'll always put a 80-20 concept, and things which are not high selling SKUs will continue to import from there, and all the major high selling SKUs slowly will start manufacturing in India.
Nice. Because the idea is, of course, to provide the complete range, the complete solution to the OEM or to the channel partner, so that I mean that's the only way you can be present in a very strong way in the market.
True, but so anything which goes into the kitchen or even for wardrobe and other things, I think we have a range. Whether we'll be manufacturing here or whether we'll be importing from Turkey for the time being. But yes, like door solutions and door handles and door locks and other things, those are not the categories where we would be present. Neither Samet is today. Maybe in future, yes, they will also improvise and they may come out with some more SKUs. As I said, they have a very strong R&D. So in future, yes, we'll look at more products also together. But at this point of time, whatever is the range of Samet and what sells in India will all be available.
So how have you what kind of a marketing strategy have you developed? Do you have a slogan, or have you put the brand in the market to position it in a different way?
Well, no, not so much, because I think first thing first, we were initially working hard to make sure that the production facility comes in place. Because machineries has to be imported and some of the machines are domestic, and then we wanted that yes, our team has to be in place. So right now also we are working to complete the sales team and the other team. Most of the other functions are in place. Most of the senior guys are all in place, but the team below that is still under consideration. Once these things are done, and we of course we have also approached the market in the month of August. We did it partially in the month of March with our first level of production, but then again there were certain issues in certain machines, so we could not produce for a few months, and now we are again into the market from August, and I think now there won't be any stoppages, nothing. So we continue on the sales side, and the rest of the things will follow. In terms of channel strategy and this, we got a great response because knowing the strength of Greenply and our relationship with the dealer fraternity, we got huge response, humongous response in terms of our existing dealers who are not even till date dealing in hardware. They also want to start this as a business, and they are also equally excited. But we have a very separate team for this, as I said, and so the decisions will be taken by those separate team, and we would be managing from the board level. So whatever leads come, everything, whichever way it comes, we pass it on to the team for them to evaluate, fix it into their strategy, and then go and implement it into the market. So, but yes, the response has been very good. The product features are very good. The life cycle of the products are better than the life cycle of some of the products of the competition. So, we score higher in many of those, categories also.
Could you cite an example like in a particular category?
No, so normally in this there is a LGA certification which happens. It's a European body, right, and which certifies the life cycle of the product. So like if you have hinges, how many times you can open and close that hinge? Okay, so if I don't want to name the competition, but if one of our nearest competition, they have got their product certified at, let's say, 40,000 cycle, our product is certified at 60,000 cycle. So the product is much better than the competition.
And a matching price.
Well, pricing strategy right now is still not evolved, but yes, of course, we would not be the leader at this point of time on the price. We would be at the matching price.
So will Samet also source? Is it part of the plan to source from India?
Very interesting. So, when we were discussing this initially, we could see a lot of reservations because they are already manufacturing these products into their country and they're exporting. So on this topic, when we discussed, and then that's very natural from their side that no, look, countries where we are already exporting, we may not be allowed to export from this country. But we just kept it there because I know for one thing for sure that our cost of production in India would be lower than their cost of production there. And once that happens, automatically, my belief was that they will come back to say that, why don't you, maybe we can supply it from this country, And already there are some signs where they have, since they have been meticulous in their working, they are already started talking that looks like our cost of production in India would be lower. So we may actually open up many other countries to export from this country. So I think, the good part is, there is a level of discipline which is there between both the JVs. But these Turkish, our partners, they work very much like Indians. Their process is European, but their style of working is Indian. Which means, why am I saying so is that, like Indians, we love to work, whether it is a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday or when we are on vacation. They are also like that. So even if they are on vacation, they are not the switched off type guys. They will still respond, in the quickest possible manner. And they are flexible. They are business oriented. So as I said, I could sense that, and it is already working out that they themselves have already started talking that export may make a lot of sense for certain countries from here. We have not reached to those levels because we want to first stabilize the machine, the production, the Indian market. But these will all open up. I am very much sure that slowly they will find that many of the countries we have started exporting from here.
You brought up this very interesting point of India being quite competitive vis-a-vis Turkey. But do you think Indian costing is at par with Chinese costing or better from a global point of view?
No, we have. I see. If you look at steel, it needs actually higher grade of steel. Okay, and in terms of higher grade of steel, we have checked even prices in India is not at all expensive compared to many other countries. Then comes labor and machine. So as I said, it's a machine-oriented business where there is so much of thing which the machine does, and then you need skilled labor. But the skilled labor today in India is much cheaper compared to at least the European part of it. Okay, so from a cost of production perspective, surely will be better compared to China. We have not really worked out the cost matrix, but the product quality will itself speak for it. So I think more than the cost, when it comes to China, it will be the product quality also which will speak for itself. So it might be a differentiator. It might be that both will have its own place, and that's how we look at it.
So what's your next milestone now? Like entering the market, launching all India. What's your next milestone?
Well, clearly, first thing, we want the team to be in place. There are few, as I said, few people still to be recruited. That needs to be completed. And second, we want to make sure that our first phase manufacturing is in full hog. Full hog production starts, it stabilizes with not too many challenges. And we are able to, reach to the major towns in the first go. And then we look at our capacities and accordingly we go to tier 2 and tier 3 cities.
So when can channel partners hope to hear from you or start doing business?
They already started doing it. From August, we started doing some minuscule billing also. And I think we'll only build up on the same.
So this season is going to be a busy season at Greenply Samet.
Yes, and it has remained as a very busy season for Greenply as an organization. So every season, we have been doing something or the other. That from plywood, we have successfully been able to implement our MDF facility also and commence the same. And God has been kind that we have been able to ramp it up well. And the Samet facility also, we have been able to set up in record time. And the production has also started. Sales to some extent started. So I think, Greenply has been doing a lot of things in the last 3-4 years. God has been very, very kind to us in terms of doing these things at a very steady pace. And we will keep working like this. We'll keep surprising the market with newer products, newer dimensions.
Well, the stature at the point at which Greenply is positioned, every step that you take is definitely going to shape the Indian industry. That's for sure.
So true.
Well, wish you all the best in this new venture and look forward to more news from your end.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sparing your time.
Same here. Thank you.
Have a good day, Manoj.
You too. Bye.